YouTube and Twitter. And I announced it in Instagram as well. And I announced it on all of those platforms. And so people are responding to it in that, manner. And as well as when I'm out and about, if I meet someone, we spark up a conversation, and then I, let them know about my book, and they're like, oh, that's so good. Okay. When you come back, because it depends on what I'm doing, I may have had a book with me, and then I may have sold that book. So then I don't have anything available. So I guess I'll have to start carrying some books around.
Yes.
But whenever the conversation presents itself, I use that as my opportunity to share with people about my book. So when I went to the post office and mailed off some, copies to like my mom, because she did not know I wrote a book. So I went to the post office to mail it off to her. And the mail person was like, oh my goodness, congratulations. This is amazing. I mean, my face is on the book, so it's not like as he looked at me and as he looked at, I'm saying that how much would this be? I wanted to get there as quick as possible. So that in itself was encouraging because, strangers even would be like, oh, congratulations. So just sharing it that way is what I've been doing.
Okay, all righty. So could you please hold the book up again?
Yes.
And so yeah, oh, that's perfect. That's actually tilted a little bit. Yes, that's perfect. So we see that you not only are an author, but you look like a model even in photos. Okay.
Oh.
What are you most What are you most proud of? What are you most proud of with the book?
What I'm most proud of is the fact that I wrote it and actually published it, because about 4 times I almost talked myself out of publishing it, because when we let self-doubt, kick in, and it's like, well, it's, nobody activity that we can sometimes hype ourselves up about. I had to quickly, blank that away and say, go ahead and publish it. And when I published it, I was so proud of myself. And then I said, okay, I have to share it now. I want people to know I wrote it. And so when I liked the post, and that just made my heart so like warm and big, because I was like, oh my goodness, they actually see it. They didn't have to, like it or comment. And so just to have that positive, encouragement and that congratulations from, from my people, I that made me feel good that, I actually went and on my account, my book normally retails for $14.95. I went on there, and so between today and through Friday, my book is now on sale for $10.95 for anyone who wants to purchase it, as my way of saying thank you for just sharing my post, liking my post and letting me know your heart.
It just out of the blue. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. It's so important to just continue to carry on when things happen, because they, I just called the cable company, and they reset the signal, and it's fine now. So anyway, so you were saying that you were proud of yourself for actually publishing the book, because we can, that self-doubt can get in there and derail us, and that. The self-talk, I think the self-talk that we learn in this society, being in these institutions, we have to read, as Derek Grace, the fellow with the face tattoo, says, we have to unlearn and relearn.
And relearn, right.
And I'm curious what your children, what goes through their minds, because they haven't been subject to the institutions that are conditioning us for certain behavior outcomes. So, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Now we spoke this. We're redoing this interview because we had technical difficulties yesterday.
Right.
But you shared a story with me regarding a time when you were running track.
Yes.
And so, if you could please share that again, please.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure. And so this is in my book. I was at my first track meet in middle school. And so I was excited because I just love to run anyway. So for me, it was second nature. I was like, okay, I get to run against other people on a track. Okay. So, they had us all at the starting line. And again, my coach was like, when you hear, the starter gun, you run and you run to the finish. So the official did his whole thing, runners to your mark, set. I heard pow, pow. I took off running. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run this race. I'm gonna do the best I can. People are like swinging their hands and waving, and you can't really hear them, but you hear the sounds of the crowd. And so I'm thinking they're cheering me on. So I'm just running myself off. And I get to the finish line, and the official kind of puts his arm out to stop me, so that I don't go any further. And he's like, you have to go back. Someone false started. And I turned around and I looked down the track, and everybody was still at the starting line except for me. And I was like, oh my God. I guess I know what 2 shots of the gun meant. It's not the official's finger got stuck or anything like that. So I jogged back to the starting line, pretty embarrassed, but I'm like, okay, that was awkward. Mm-hmm. And one of the, girls at the starting line was like, well, we don't have to worry about her no more. She done already ran her race. And you gotta figure we're teenagers. So I'm like, I looked at her like, what did you just say? And she gave me this look like, yeah, I said it. So, we start again. Runners on your mark. Set. Pow. I wait a second, which, like I said, is a long time in track. I waited like a second before I left, so I wouldn't accidentally be the one to false start this time. And then I take off running, and I run as hard as I can because I was like, I'm about to prove her wrong. And I won the race. It was a 100-meter dash, and I remember it like I just did it yesterday. I won. And then, after I finished, I kind of gave her a look and turned around and was like, well, and walked back, to the other thing. And what I learned from that is regardless of what it looks like at the time, you may have been like, oh my goodness, I messed up. Mm-hmm. I can't possibly do this again. I can't do it again. I failed the first time. Yeah. But if you just believe in yourself and know, just go as hard as you did at that time, you can still be successful and you can still come out ahead. Pun intended, because I won that race. So that's one of the things in the book as far as the lessons and how they can tie into everyday life and how we can, second guess ourselves or doubt whether or not we can do something, just because it happened prematurely, okay, so to speak.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much again. Just more inspiration. That is, and I was saying, I a few earlier, I was saying I was listening to this training, and the fellow was so intelligent, and the talk was on the sister circle.
Okay.
The sister circle, and that dynamic is something that we need to bring back, because the support that women give each other, that especially, yes. I mean, and when you want to get real about it, that melanin women bring to each other from sharing their experiences is the value is immeasurable. It's absolutely immeasurable. Now I met you, I learned of you from a person on Facebook, and her name is Art Kathy. And yes. So I do know that that she knows you because she shouts you out often on her Facebook Live. Okay. So I wanted you to tell me a little bit about the womb school, what it's meant for you, what kind of support system you feel like it has been able to provide for you.
Yes. Well, like you said, I definitely want to give my shout out to Art Kathy and the womb school, because the fact that she created that space really was the beginning to helping me realize the turning point and what it was that I needed to do for myself in order to be what I needed to be for other people. Because before, I would have it in reverse. Everybody, okay, I got a negative emotional bank account, insufficient funds, there's nothing left for myself. I need to reverse that. I need to have people who are going to be encouraging, people who are going to hold me accountable. And at that same time, that caused me to really tune in to getting back in shape the way I wanted to. And, getting my fitness back where I wanted it to be, which in turn, we'd have amazing challenges, and I'm like, okay. And I saw the difference that those challenges made, because it made me look at myself and say, okay, you say you're doing this, you say you're doing that. Okay, now prove it. Yeah. Post, put your money where your mouth is, post your pictures showing your progress. It may take some people a while, but just when you show progress of any kind, that in itself is encouraging to, the other sisters in the group to know, hey, I can do this too. And then we become, encouragement for them. And so because of the womb school, I really, feel like I was able to get to the point of where I am today. Okay. Because if not, I would have probably still been sitting there going, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. Doing that and then write a book. And so now that confidence, and that self-love basically is a big part of what I learned. That self-care, self-love allowed me to, come to where I am now, which in turn will be hopefully to help encourage and inspire, others to know, if I can do it, you can do it too. Wow. And I will cheer you on and, check on you if that's what a person needs, because we're in this together, and we're here to encourage each other. So I love the womb school, and I love Art Kathy. I love you, Art, for that. Yes.
Very good. Very, very good. All right. Well, we have been speaking for about 30 minutes, but it feels like we could go for another 6 hours. But I know that I'm curious about the homeschool. I'm curious about your journey, as I'm not sure if you're married or if you are, single, or what.
I'm single.
You're single.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to delve into femininity and how it relates to men and that transformation. So maybe we can do that next time. Okay.
Yeah, honey, trust me.
It's so important for us to make sure that we don't just do the outer. That's easy. It's easy for us to do the outer. And so when you have that snatched body like you do, okay. I'm sure you get lots of submissions for requests for attention. Okay. But I digress. We're gonna bring it right back to. We're gonna wrap things up. I want you to tell me about you mentioned in the last time we talked that you had a special for the listeners of this